John 1:16. Et de plenitudine eius nos omnes accepimus, et gratiam pro gratia. And from the fullness of him we all have received, namely, grace upon or instead of grace. Now John is picking up a thread he left last in verse 14. He was talking there about how the verbum Dei was plenum veritatis gratiaeque, how the Word of God was full of grace and truth. And in between, in verse 15, John had stopped to tell us a little bit about the testimony of John the Baptist, but now he's returning to the subject of the fullness of the Son of God, plenitudo. This is a third declension feminine noun, plenitudo. It's fun to say, and you can see how it's derived from plenus a the adjective. Okay, let's get down to brass tacks. First, we've got to notice de plus the ablative case. We might just as easily have had ex, and in fact, in the Greek text here, we have ek, which is the Greek equivalent of Latin ex, but de will do just as well. I also want to point out to you that eius, just once again a reminder, is a form in the genitive singular of is, ea, id, our third person personal pronoun, of him, and from the fullness of him, we all, nos omnes, all of us. Who does John mean here? Chrysostom said that here John the Evangelist is adding his own testimony to that of John the Baptist, which he's just mentioned in verse 15. We all, not only John the Baptist, who anticipated and then saw the glory of the Son of God, but we also who believe in him, including me, John, the evangelist who's telling you this, we all, accepimus, we have received. Here we have the first person plural, perfect, active, indicative. Accepimus, we have received. Notice in the present tense what we have is accipio, the infinitive is accipere, but when we move into the perfect tense, and this is developed from the third principal part, actually we have accepi. So there's a change in sound as well as form there. Accepimus, we have received. Well, we have received what? We can use the word accipio in Latin sometimes without an object, that is intransitively, just as we do sometimes in English with the word receive, as in the saying, "'Tis better to give than to receive." To receive what? Well, we don't always have to express the object. We also need to answer what the et is doing here. Et. It's not acting as a simple copulative, as a simple conjunction here. And this is something that it can do in all periods of Latin. In classical Latin, for example, you have ets like this, which grammarians call epexegetical. And epexegetical means explanatory. That is giving a little bit more information about something already mentioned. It's corresponding also to kai and an epexegetical kai in the Greek. So here again, our Vulgate translator is sticking very close to the original Greek text. And in English, we would say something like namely, or that is, i.e., something like that. We all have received something in English, we might be tempted to say. We have all received something from his fullness, namely, what? Gratiam, the accusative singular from gratia, a first declension feminine noun, grace. Gratiam in the accusative case. Pro gratia. And here we have the ablative because of the preposition pro. Now there's another thing to note here, which is there's a dispute among interpreters about the precise meaning of this preposition pro. There's a similar ambiguity when it comes to anti, which is the Greek word that it's translating in the Greek New Testament. This could mean on top of or in addition to, or it could mean instead of or in place of. And that just depends on how one interprets the immediate context and what John is saying here. We'll have occasion to look back at this when we look at verse 17 and why some people think that pro or in the Greek anti might mean instead of or in place of.